In this episode of Titans of ServiceNow, we interview Mike Lombardo of GlideFast and Veracode. Plenty of links in the description, so you'll want to check that out. Remember, the purpose of Titans of ServiceNow is to get an interview with the man himself, Mr. Fred Luddy. I can't do it without your help, so if you enjoyed this content, please pass it through your network. If you want to know what I'm up to lately, I want to personally invite you to check out Vividcharts and make your reporting in ServiceNow vivid. Links in the description below. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Titans of Now. I'm your host, Robert the Duke Fedoric. Holy cow, people, have I got a treat for you today. A genuine ServiceNow celebrity, a true Titan, a paragon of the community, and a guy whose name is absolutely ubiquitous with success on ServiceNow. I can't believe I've actually got Mike Lombardo. Mike, how the hell are you?
Wow, the hype is real.
The hype is real. That's why I hype.
The hype is real. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here. You are the true legend. You are the true Titan.
Nah, man, I stand on the shoulders of giants. So we always start at the start. Tell us kind of when you got into the ServiceNow space and how that happened.
Wow. I've been in IT about 15 years now. I actually got my start in IT through a program called Year Up. Definitely check them out. It's a great program. It's yearup.org. Basically takes young adults and puts them through 6 months of technical training and then 6 months of internship at IT organizations. It's for young adults, 18 to 24, I believe. And I was fortunate enough to get an internship at Partners Healthcare, which is a large healthcare organization out here in New England. I was a help desk agent, and I learned so much on the job. I mean, they weren't utilizing IDLE, but I think they were without really noticing it. I mean, we had KPIs, we had metrics, we had goals, and I really learned a lot of that customer service and customer satisfaction and taking as many calls as possible, closing as many calls as possible. And I just fell in love with the job. I mean, answering phones is not the best job in the whole world, but I really enjoyed solving IT problems. And that's really what sparked my passion for what would come down the line. Then I made a move. I went to another local hospital doing the same thing. So I did help desk at Boston Medical Center. And now Boston Medical Center was a smaller organization that we didn't have a knowledge base. So knowledge base at my last organization was so crucial to all of our day-to-day activities. That was like the first thing I had to do. I had to build a knowledge base. So I had built a custom knowledge base basically on just a website. Yeah, I did it kind of in secret for about 6 months. And after I felt it was good enough to prime time, I showed it to the whole organization, and the whole IT department is actually still using it today. They do have ServiceNow as well, and then that really set me up for when the organization decided to purchase ServiceNow. I was chosen to be the admin, pretty much solely of the work I did on the knowledge base and just my close interaction with what I was doing on the help desk and helping other teams and things like that.
Crazy, man. I didn't want to interrupt you, but I'm actually a huge fan of the Year Up program.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that you were part of it.
Oh yeah.
I've never been through it, but back when I was at Hyatt, they asked if I could be one of the mentors, I guess you could say, or whatever. So shout out to Robel Hiskus.
Robel.
Hope you're doing well, man.
All right.
Yeah, Robel was my guy, man.
Yeah,
love that kid.
Yeah, it's such a great program. I was really an early student of that program. I think I was class 8 overall. And it was actually founded in Boston, started in Boston. So I was in the first site.
Right.
When I joined, we had 1 floor. Then by the time we had all 5 floors in the building, now they're in a whole new building. Now they're all over the country.
Right.
It's just such a
too.
Chicago, they're New York, they're DC, Florida, they're everywhere. And
what a testament to that program.
It's such a positive program, Robert. And it's self-sustaining. Like you're saying, it's not just a nonprofit. It is a nonprofit, but it's not one where we have to donate money to keep it alive. And it makes money because organizations are paying for these resources because they need these resources. We need the younger generation. We need skilled, trained workers in the IT space. And now they have, finance, they have other work streams as well. But IT, I think really is its core offering.
What a testament to the Year Up program to have you as one of their first going through. And now look at you. And so that maybe that's a great segue to, what is Michael Lombardo doing now? I mean, I'm sure everybody knows, but this is your chance to make the big pitch.
the big pitch. Well, after Boston Medical Center, so I was a customer for about 2 years. So I led that implementation.
Mm-hmm.
We had a partner. So I learned a lot of what I would do and would not do if I got into the consulting world, because going from a customer perspective to the consulting world
Mm-hmm.
is a big jump, right? It's scary. It seems so scary.
Yeah.
When I'm interviewing people now, they're like, well, I've never consulted before, but really you are. If you're already working with different groups within your organization, gathering requirements, selling them on the solution, delivering the solution,
Mm-hmm.
fine tuning that solution, that is consulting, right? We're just doing it
Yeah.
at a bigger scale, more aspects of the platform. So I learned a lot just from being a customer of a partner. And then I was fortunate enough to join a startup consulting firm that was local in Boston that only did ServiceNow. I was one of the first employees there. I was a big part of growing that company. Still maintain a lot of
Mm-hmm.
my relationships there. Great people. I was there for about 2 years. And then I decided to go independent. So I went independent first. I'm sure, as you know, the Duke, independent life is a tough life. It's feast or famine. In this space,
Yep.
mostly feast. So it kind of became too much to handle. So I started to partner and hire people I knew through the community. And that's really how I was able to grow in my career, and every step of the way was through this community. I mean, I was never a developer before ServiceNow. I was by no means, this was an easy journey for me. But having
Mm-hmm.
that community out there to lean on, there's always somebody there like itching to answer one of your questions. We had amazing websites like ServiceNowGuru.com, ServiceNowElite.com,
Mm-hmm.
all the other ones, Jace's website, Jace's YouTube videos. I remember Jace's YouTube videos back in like Aspen. And I don't think every other technology space is like this, where people are just over the moon willing to help you. And so that's where
Right.
like I feel like I owe pay it forward to do everything we can to push the next generation of developers and help them, So, where were we? where were we go? What was the question?
Wherever we're going, it's a good place, man. You just do your
Yeah. Oh,
thing,
yeah.
man.
Okay. I got you. I got you.
The
Okay.
question
So,
was the question
so
is
where am I?
where is Michael Lombardo now?
Yeah. Where is Michael Lombardo now? So after Choreo, after going independent, I started to really have more independent work than I could handle. So yeah, as an independent contractor, as we know, it's really feast or famine. In this space, it's really a lot more feast than famine. So as we grew, as I grew as an independent consultant, I really needed help. So really just reached out to the ServiceNow community, one of the best communities out there. It really, some of the relationships I developed over the years, I was really able to bring some of those resources in and some of those experts who are even better than me. So in 2015, we started GlideFast Consulting, and it just really grew so fast that we were hiring a ton on the GlideFast side. And then we saw an opportunity in the government space where ServiceNow wasn't really even able to host some of their customers, some of their high security level customers. Started a second company called Faracode, where we're actually doing the hosting of ServiceNow on Microsoft Azure, and then doing the follow-up implementation work as well, and along with a lot of managed services. So we really have this 1-2 punch where GlideFast is dominating the commercial, the enterprise, private sector space, and then you have Faracode that's just cleaning house on Department of Defense, civilian agencies, Army, Navy, and anything high security.
That's crazy. I remember there was a knowledge where it was like you and Lloyd, and it was just you guys. There was no booths or nothing. And we went out and partied with like you and like a couple of your clients or a couple of your prospects or something. And then the next year it was like, look at all those people.
I know.
It was like 1 year. There's like the speed of the ServiceNow ecosystem, but the speed of GlideFast within that ecosystem has just been insane to watch.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of obviously sheer hard work. I would be nothing, GlideFast would be nothing without the team members we have. I mean, not only do they work harder than me, they're smarter than me, they're more passionate than I am. I think my biggest thing that I bring to the table, identifying that talent, those people that do want to work hard, that do want to contribute, and then also making sure they're compensated and they're happy and they're doing the work that they want. Nobody really wants to go work for someone who hasn't done the job. I think what gives me a little bit of leg up on some of the competition is I've done the job. I know what it entails. I know what we like to do as developers, consultants, what we don't like to do. I know how bad a difficult client can be, and I have a lot of empathy around that. And I just try to support my team as best I can. I mean, if you support your team, they're going to support you. So that's the name of the game for me.
Well, I mean, you got to be doing something right. And I think everybody, anybody in the ServiceNow ecosystem can see that GlideFast grew fast, but it takes old timers like me looking at the kind of people you acquired early and still continue to pick up to realize how stacked your bench is with the apex elite talent. I guess there's no secret to it, right? You put in the work, you hustle, and you've been there in the trenches, and so you got that Lombardo factor going for you.
The Lombardo factor.
The Lombardo. I love it. Yeah, I mean that's the only way to explain it, right? Like, I mean, even the big four, they have plenty talented folks, but I don't think anybody's got as stacked a deck as you guys do. Truly.
Wow, that means a lot coming from you. Thank you.
Well, shoot, man, I've already one of your guys. You guys are going to have 2 spots on the Titans of Now, and then a third one coming up soon. As soon as you let him stop doing services for a bit, so he can take my invitation.
That's awesome. That's an honor. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Pleasure's mine. Everybody knows GlideFast, and you guys do a lot of stuff, like basically everything. But just from Mike Lombardo's point of view, is there any part of the platform where you have a particular affinity for?
I mean, I fell in love with it so much because, I was never that guy that would build a website from scratch, from pure HTML or anything like that. But I love to build stuff and create stuff and build things that people would use. I got my greatest satisfaction like in high school, building a little gossip site, before social network and all that. But I'd never built it from scratch. I needed that baseline. I needed that platform level. Give me tools to make. Maybe it's my ADD, right? I don't want to sit here for 3 months. I want to do something in 3 days, So yeah. I got immediate gratification of building something people could use within days, So ServiceNow was like the answer and I can do this for my career. This is crazy, because I was doing this for fun before. But I love automation. I love providing service. I love putting smiles on people's faces, like back to my help desk days. Wow, thank you so much. And I'm like, all I did was tell you to plug in printer that you thought was broken. It was unplugged, So like I used to just love like getting that immediate gratification of helping somebody. Making people's lives easier, So anytime I can do that, I don't care if it's through PPM, I don't care if it's through incident management or request management, portal, I love building something that people are going to use, and I love doing it in a way that other people may think took me months to do, or, was this big undertaking when it was really very simple. And that's really the name of the game with ServiceNow.
I was going to, that would dovetail nicely into like what's one of the most favorite things you've built. But I think like from a guy in your position who's basically like, from everybody else's perspective, top of the world. But what was like one of your bleakest moments in the ServiceNow space? Like a time where you're just hanging by a thread and you're just like, man, am I going to make it? Like, and how did you get through it?
I was at a go live. I was the main architect on this project. I was on site. We had to go live basically within a couple hours. And I'm not entirely sure exactly which table I had to move over from a development environment to a production environment. But let's just say this table was not backed up. So I could not go to deleted items and restore it. The only way to get this table back was due to a full restore of the environment. And basically, long story short, I deleted the wrong table. So I thought I was grabbing the right table from development, and I thought I was deleting the right table from prod and doing a nice clean swap. And it was one of those things where like we had 20 other problems we knocked out of the park. This was like the last little step, but this was like a deal breaker. This was like the end of the world kind of thing. I sat there. I was by myself. I sat there. I deleted this table. I know I messed up so bad, and I had 2 choices. I could sit there and try to hide it or curl up in a ball and cry, but I decided to, okay, what are my options? So I called ServiceNow support. We got all our options on the table. We were able to get a restore scheduled for 1 hour to a sandbox environment where I could grab the data. It would be from a day before, so I don't think we lost much data. I went to so I got the plan in place first. I didn't go raise the flag and say the world's ending. What do we do? I didn't go with a problem for the manager, right, to the stakeholder. I got the solution ready, right? So then I had a solution. I had the pros, the cons, everything ready. I went right to the stakeholder, talked to her straight up, and I said, here's what I did. I messed up. This was on nobody else. It's not the end of the world. I have a solution. This may delay our go live, 1 hour. And that response that I got from that stakeholder, I'll never forget. First of all, this is a company with 250,000 employees. This is a huge, huge, huge company. This is a lot of stake. Her job was at stake. This was a big deal. She goes, I cannot believe how professionally you handled this. You took full responsibility. And from then on, I knew, this is semi-early in my consulting career, I will never try to cover anything up. If you make a mistake, own up to it. Come with the solution now. Don't just say, hey, I screwed up. Because imagine if I brought that issue to the stakeholder who has no idea. You know what I mean? Like, how do we fix this? I'm supposed to be the one bringing the solution, So I think it's really important to own up to what you do if you make mistakes, but also have the solution or the best possible solution that you can think of. Or if you need to reach out to other people to first to get that solution, do it, So that was definitely a bleak moment in my career, but there's so much silver lining there because I learned so much, from that experience.
Yeah, so if you don't know Mike Lombardo, this is classic Mike Lombardo. You take a situation like that and, get right down to the silver lining as soon as he can. But if you don't mind me saying, Mike, the other thing that's just 100% Mike Lombardo is the fact that he had the choice of saying, oh, one time I deleted a production table and that screwed me up, or I've got cancer. And the guy chooses the time that he messed up a table.
I thought we were talking professionally.
Yeah, well, hey, listen, like it all comes together, right? Like your profession affects your family affects your profession, and we were all heartbroken when we heard the news of what you were struggling with. And can I ask, how you doing with that?
I'm doing actually phenomenally. So for those who don't know, 2019 Thanksgiving Day, I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, actually a rare form of it called NKT cell. And obviously the most difficult thing my family and I have ever gone through, puts the whole professional and all the other stuff aside, and nothing else matters but, family and my health. But we just received some great news. I don't think I put this out publicly at all, but we just had what's called a PET scan, which kind of checks in on how the cancer's doing. And I'm pretty much in full remission right now. I've had 2 rounds of chemo. I'm actually on my 3rd right now. I still have a few more months of treatment. As I said, it's January now. We're hoping I'll be fully recovered for Knowledge 20, which I'm really excited to come, 7th Knowledge, 6th or 7th Knowledge, and I've never missed one. I don't plan on missing this one. So, no, everything's great. The ServiceNow community in particular has really come at me with open arms, and again, emails from executives at ServiceNow, from competitors, owners of competitor companies, obviously all the developers, consultants, engagement managers across the whole industry. As you know, Vividcharts, you guys started a GoFundMe for me, which is unbelievable, which we will be donating to another foundation. I'll get you the info on that just so you can post in the video. I don't have it on top of my head here, but I couldn't possibly accept this money from you guys, because being in here and seeing some of the other patients and putting myself in some of these other people's shoes, that, I'm fortunate enough that I have a team of 200 people that have stepped up. Shout out to the Glyphosate and Faracode team. Everybody has stepped up. They're working harder than ever before to make my life easier and my family. So I'm fortunate enough. Not everybody has that, right? So I really I was going to start a foundation that would really help people, with some bills and commuting costs. And we're fortunate enough to find a foundation that already exists that does that. So we're going to donate all of that money to that foundation. So I promise it's going to go to better use than I'll make use of it. So I really want to make sure we get that information out to everybody. And I can't thank everybody enough who donated. It was way over the top. Great news is it looks like I'm going to beat this thing 100%, and I can't wait to get back to work 100% as well.
Man, so there you have it, folks. Mike Lombardo, like I said, true titan in the industry, a mensch, cancer survivor now. The accolades just keep on coming. So we're at time. If there's anything else you want to let the community know, now's your time.
One last thing I'll say is, what I really look forward to seeing ServiceNow get to the next level, and I really think it's on us as consultants and as admins to really take ServiceNow to the next level of generating revenue for organizations. So right now we're doing a lot of cost savings. We're doing a lot of the intangibles. We're making employees' experience better, but I really want to see ServiceNow being used for helping organizations in their true business processes, how they make money. And it's really on us to come up with some of those solutions. So I really put that challenge out there. It's been a GlideFast goal since we started. As you can tell, it's not as simple as that, as just flicking a switch, and we got to really convince these organizations and higher up that this is the platform for the future. But I just really want us to keep that in our minds. It's not going to happen overnight, but it's more than just, we've been screaming it, 5 years ago, it's more than just IT. It's more than just IT. Now it's more than just, we need to say it's more than just internal business process.
Yep.
This is a platform we can put in front of external customers that can help these organizations make money and really facilitate that customer experience, that true customer experience.
I hear that, buddy.
Not just employee experience.
I hear that. Well, I'm happy to fight in those trenches with you, and thanks for carrying that flag in the community. Such a pleasure to talk with you today. Thanks for making the time.
You as well. Appreciate the invite. Thanks, Rob.
All right, we'll see you around.